Come on in, come on in, come on in. All geeks are welcome in this space. Let's learn together and seek his face. I'm Lem Phil, y'all, aka Badgamer Elite, your host for the Sound Maiden podcast, sponsored by lifepromotions.org. God, Games, and Geekery gives us an opportunity every Tuesday to chat about the crossroads of our passions and our faith. I can't wait to learn and discuss with you. Guys, welcome to the 45th episode? Are we on 45? Hold on. I gotta check that out. Are we already on 45? Guys, we are on episode 45. Are you kidding me? I thought I had messed that up. We are on episode 45. Yo, oh man. Yo, welcome to the 45th episode. And if you've been listening, if you've gone back and you've listened to all the old ones and you're like, hey, this sounds different. Why is he talking and not just like going straight into stuff? That's because, yeah, we're on that new train, baby. Let's go. It's more of a discussion based podcast now. Goes a little longer, shows up once a month in your inbox or in your podcast or on the site or wherever you go to listen to it. Thanks for being here. Oh my goodness. Guys, I want to thank LifeFest, our sponsor. And not only is LifeFest going on July 9th through the 11th in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, one of the world's largest music festivals, but this year also in Bon Aqua, Tennessee on Hideaway Farm, July 29th through the 31st, LifeFest Music City. Let's go. Hey, if you want more info, go to lifefest.com for all the details of both of them. Now, you might be wondering, all right, Lem, you sound a little hyped today. Yes, I have been focusing on making sure that I have my caffeine throughout the day. It helps me focus. I exercise a little throughout the day, helps me focus, gets that dopamine going. So what have I been up to? What have I been playing? Of course I've been playing Fortnite. You know I've been playing Fortnite. If you had to ask, that means you're new here and welcome. But otherwise, I have been playing Fortnite. I have been, they added Beast Boy skin to Fortnite. And I'm not a DC guy. I love the Teen Titans cartoon, all of them. Young Justice, love it. Guys, and yes, I love Teen Titans Go. Don't at me. Unless you want to talk about Teen Titans Go, and then we can talk about it. No matter which way. Yeah, you know what? At me. Come on, let's talk. But Beast Boy was added to Fortnite, and I absolutely love him. He's got his own harvesting tool. And they say that it's a little OP because you get a little bit more reach with it. I don't know. Okay, I do know. I saw the science. It's true. All right. I also got the Harley outfit from the Batman comic because they have Batman comics that are going along with them. So that's really cool. And the Batman comic story isn't bad either. I mean, it's not bad at all. What else have I been downloading? I'm trying to get through a backlog of games that I've had and just hanging on to. Lost Ember. I played and completed Lost Ember, and it is an amazing journey story. There's more to it than meets the eye. It's not quite a Transformers game, but there is definitely more to it than meets the eye, and you can expect that when you play it, if you play it, you're going to get more than you've bargained for. It's a great game. I've been playing Disney Infinity, the first one. We're going through all the Disney Infinities. And I say we, on my personal channel, I've been playing Disney Infinity. And yo, I forgot how much I enjoy this. Right now I'm playing the Monsters University story. Great story. Lots of fun. The puzzles are there. The comedy is there. Love it. I did try to finish AER, Memories of Old, I think it's called. I just couldn't bring myself to do it, you guys. It was not my thing. I wanted it to be. I 100% wanted it to be, but it wasn't. So I stopped. I stopped playing it. Because I was streaming it and I am personally that guy that says, "Hey, if I'm streaming a game, I want to enjoy it." So, and I want my audience to enjoy me enjoying it. So I stopped playing it. But I did, after I finished Lost Ember, I started with Summer in Mara. And it's very much a game in the vein of Stardew Valley, because there's a lot of farming that goes on with it. There's also a bit of the elements of what's the game? My Time in Portia, and it's a lot like that. But I like the graphics, I like the story, I like the characters. Those characters look really cool. So look it up, Summer in Mara. I might start playing some Lego games. I'm not sure. Biomutant came out. Oh, I'm looking at Biomutant hard. And guys, in comments on the Twitter, or you can contact me. Do I get Biomutant on PC or do I get Biomutant on PlayStation 5? I'm trying to decide. Or do I just not get it yet? Because I heard there's some concerns with the quality of it. Not the quality, but there were some things that were a little janky. So, but yeah, in gametography news, Fortnite. I've been doing a lot of gametography in Fortnite because of all the new skins, and just I need to actually start doing some Overwatch gametography. I'm very excited to get back into that. I've got a project I got to do for a buddy. Comic books. I've been reading. Been trying to get back into some X-Men comics. And it really, to me, it doesn't matter which X-Men comics I play. I play. I read. Just because, but I do need to find a starting point. I got to find a point where I need to just find a storyline and just go with that, start with it, and call it good. So, yeah. Oh, what else have I been doing? Well, I got my COVID shots, got all my immunization down. I'm fully immunized. I'm still wearing masks when I go out, and if I'm in the office, I still wear a mask, just because I do have folks in my household that have not been immunized. So I'm looking out for them. But I'm learning more about TikTok. And the last time we spoke, I was at 450 friends on TikTok, or followers on TikTok, however you want to say it. I say friends, people that enjoy the content that I'm making. So content takers, users, consumers, content consumers. And I am now at 2076, which means I can go live on TikTok, on my personal TikTok. I want us to get there on the God Games and Geekery TikTok. So if you're a TikTok person, God Games Geekery right there. Also, my own is badgamer elite. You can find me there. But yeah, that's where we're going with it. What else? Oh, I've been trying to reset and get rest. There are some days I don't take my work computer home with me, and that's why sometimes some things get put up a little late, possibly like this episode. But I've been really concentrating on resting, trying to find rest, and not only finding rest for myself, But what does finding rest for myself look like biblically? Because I was playing Jedi Fallen Order, and you can rest there, meditate there, and get all of your health back. You can use that time to learn new things, new moves, new skills. You can use that time to just get to understand what does it look like to be the best Jedi I can be. So, and Obi-Wan, and speaking of Star Wars, because May was Star Wars month, May the 4th be with you, Revenge of the 6th. That's right, I say Revenge of the 6th, not Revenge of the 5th. But resting in Obi-Wan, that's what he did. He kind of watched over Luke, but he had a rest period, before he showed up as the guide in Star Wars. So I wanted to talk to someone that I respect in this sphere of what we do. Christian gamers, Christian geeks, Christian nerds. I wanted to talk to somebody about this that knows. And let's get into a conversation that I had with Scott Higa, the Christian nerd, my friends. Let's go. Guys, as promised, we have the one, the only, the Christian nerd, Scotty Higa is here.
I am so ecstatic to be hanging out with literally one of my favorite people on the internet. Lem, I think I called you at one point a hope dealer or a hope slinger, because that is what you are, man. Like, you are the most encouraging, the most just hopeful person. Like a lot of Twitch sucks, man. It's just people who are angry.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but man, when I log on to your stream Thursdays, 2 to 4 o'clock Mountain Time or Central Time, 2 to 4 o'clock Pacific Time for me, or 2 to 7. When is it? I want
here is 4 to 7, so that's
4 to 7, 2 to 5 Pacific time.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting at my office not wanting to work and I log on your stream on Thursday afternoons, man, like everything you do is just so full of hope and love, and like, like if Jesus had a Twitch stream, it'd be a lot like yours, is all I'm saying.
Oh my gosh. Are you freaking kidding me, Scotty? Thank you for that. Oh, that's the highest praise I can probably get. Yo.
If our Lord and Savior was alive in 2021 and had us streaming and could turn 2 loaves and 2 fishes, 5 loaves and 2 fishes into a gaming computer, he would be like you, Lem.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I'm going to take this Chromebook and I'm going to transfigure it into a gaming PC with all the lights. And he won't even have to try to like get into those queues to get the graphics card. He'll just have it.
Yo, when I get to heaven, Jesus and I are going to have a talk about a gaming channel. So, Lord.
But I'm so happy to be here.
Can we stream here? Is that
yes? Yeah, always stream. That's what I like when I get to heaven, or when heaven comes to earth, however you want to think of it eschatologically. I'm like, will there be Netflix? Because there's a lot of stuff I want to watch when I have unlimited time.
That's great.
Like, I will praise you, God, all day long, but please let me watch, probably, like, I don't know, The Office again. Just let me.
Just do season 5. I'm fine. I would love to have everything.
That's fine. But
5 would be great. All right. So, Scotty, tell everyone about yourself. Who are you? What do you do? Where can we find you? All the stuff. My name's Scott Higa. As Lem said, in 2011, I started a website called The Christian Nerd. It was a blog for its first 5 years of existence, where literally every day for 5 years, Monday through Friday, I wrote about the intersection of the Christian faith and nerd culture, because I think there's a lot of overlay there. The whole point of the Christian nerd as a concept, it helped people see where God's already engaging them through their favorite nerd inclinations, which is a word I invented for nerdy inclinations.
God is speaking to us all the time. We just have to have ears to hear it. And so I just want to show people that, yeah, if you're watching the Avengers, if you're playing Fortnite, if you're reading an X-Men comic, God is speaking to you through those things, because God is always speaking to us. So it was a blog for 5 years, then it transitioned into a podcast. And now I post little 20 to 30-minute episodes every Monday and Friday, where I talk about nerd news, talk about my kids. I've got 2 kids. I've got a wife. I'm a pastor. And what people have said about my podcast is that it's very, very personal, that there's not a lot of gap between who I am on my show and who I am in real life. And I think that doesn't work for everybody. I'm not telling everybody to podcast like that, but for me, there's no way I could do it. So I'm very open about, like, the things that I talk about are generally probably the things I'm struggling with my own personal life, because it's a way for me to work those things out and really think, like, what does God ask of me? Let me work this out with hundreds of my closest friends. I sometimes I treat my podcast like therapy. It's cheaper. $20 for Libsyn is cheaper than actual therapy. So that's what it is. So I'm a nerd through and through. I love Star Wars, love Star Trek. Lem, you and I, we both love X-Men comics.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're, I love nerd stuff. I love Jesus. And if I can take those 2 things and bring them together, and generally kind of like you, I want to entertain people if I can. And if I can't do that, I at least want to encourage them. And that's what I want out of the content I create.
Guys, just so you know, Scotty and I met on a Nerd of Godcast.
Shout out, listen to that one too.
Tony T. And seriously, within 3 minutes, I was like,
yeah,
Scotty's my boy.
Yeah, you were a late edition. Tony's like, yeah, I found this new guy, God gave me geeker. I've never met him before. He's going to be on. And yeah, literally within 3 minutes, you just exude, like I said, so much warmth and generosity and joy. I'm like, I want to be internet friends with this guy. And then I think you direct messaged me your phone number 2 days later. I'm like, all right, I guess hopefully neither of us are catfishing each other, because this just got real fast.
Absolutely. So Scott, you are you're a gamer of sorts, but you're more so movies and comic books. That
for
side
sure.
of geekery, which is why I really wanted to have you on, because I talk more about gaming. I do talk.
I know,
comics,
honestly, your stream and you talking about gaming, that's about as much video gaming as I get these days, having two little kids.
Yeah,
it's just, I would love, what the Mass Effect Legendary Edition just came out. I've never finished 2. I never even played through. I'd love to sit down and play those for hours on end, but then I'd have to explain to my children why these aliens are rolling around. That's not a conversation I want to have with my. Why is the blue lady doing that, Daddy? I don't want to have that conversation yet.
I never got to that point in the game. Mass Effect 1, I got bored with, and Mass Effect 2, I got to. This is barely a spoiler. I got to the crash. Yeah. Barely a spoiler, and I didn't touch 3. But I wanted to get your take on biblical rest, or rest at all. How are we supposed to, take a rest? There's so much to do, so much to see. Don't get lost in the back street. Is that sorry? But no. What is? I wanted to get your take on what that looked like, rest, in a biblical sense for us.
Yeah, I think that, we as Christians, we fight over a lot of things that I think don't require as much energy. Like, we need to put the 10 commandments everywhere. And if that's what you're fighting for, great, that's your fight. But for me, it's whatever. So if that's fine. But we say 10 commandments, and then we forget the commandment to rest. We forget that that's in there. Mm-hmm. That we're we need 10 commandments. But really we live there's 9.
Yes.
We're I'm not going to kill anybody. I'm not going to commit adultery. I'll gouge my eye. I'm not going to covet. I'm not going to set up an Asherah pole in my house and bow down to it. But forget about I got to work. I can't rest. I can't take any time off. And, a lot of stuff I'm going to share about rest, it comes from a wonderful writer, author, speaker, Ruth Haley Barton. Look her up. She's an amazing, amazing author and does a lot of work on soul care. And a lot of what I've learned and gleaned about rest comes from her. But there's a commandment, God commands us to rest. And even if you look in Exodus 16 when Moses is giving the rules for collecting manna, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go out, collect the manna, don't get too much, don't get too little, don't save it. But on the 6th day, gather a double portion because the 7th day is a day of rest. And Moses says, because it is a gift, the Sabbath is a gift to you. And so rest is this gift that God has given us. And I wrote, it was like, we treat it like a fruitcake. It's like, no, it's cool. I don't want to get that.
You treat it like a fruitcake.
All right, like someone's cleaning out there. It's like, do you want this old PlayStation 2? It doesn't work and it smells a little bit funny and the controllers have pizza grease all over them. But you're a gamer. Do you want it? Like, nah, man. I don't want your janky PS2. Like, that's how we treat the gift of rest. We're like, nah, it's cool, God. You can keep that, because what I have to do is so much more important than how you've asked me to order my life. And I think that's a big part of it. And it's just it's a gift that we don't want to receive.
Yeah, and sometimes that what I have to do, we perceive as we're doing this for God, so I have to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
because
absolutely.
He can't do anything without me.
Oh yeah. There's so much hubris involved. I mean, you work for a nonprofit organization. I work for a church, right? Like, there's so much hubris. Like, if I don't do this, then the kingdom of God is gonna fall. And Jesus, like, I actually said the gates of Hades couldn't tear this thing down. So whether or not you work an extra 8 hours, probably not gonna have a big effect on it. And right, there's this huge, like, and so there's that hubris that we think that it's pride, it's arrogance, that it's I have to keep all these plates spinning in order for God's purposes to be accomplished in this world, versus saying God is in control enough that I can lay these things down and trust that everything will be okay. That the world doesn't need me, that the world doesn't need my 8 hours or my 10 hours, my 12 hours of effort. Like, the world is a much better place actually if I lay those things down and play princesses with my daughter, or take JoJo to the park. Like, they're so, like, we grasp that hubris, that pride, that the world needs me to spin or keep spinning. It's like, well, no, literally the world only needs God to keep spinning, and God has given you this gift of rest. So we just lose sight of that so often.
That is powerful, Scotty. That's fantastic. Now let's say, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, ever since we went from the 5-minute format to the 20-minute format, because it's now once a month versus once a week. I want you to go listen to the Christian Nerd podcast, and you will see where I get my inspiration from. Because the minute they told me that, hey, we want you to go to a once a month longer podcast, I said, well, looks like I'm listening to the Christian Nerd a little bit more. A little bit closer, because, guys, Scotty Higa is fantastic at this. Where can people find the Christian Nerd podcast? How do they do that?
Just go to thechristiannerd.com or go to your favorite podcasting app and search The Christian Nerd. Subscribe, download, listen, tell your friends. Like I said, it's every Monday and Friday. It is, I don't do in-depth reviews of stuff. It's like, I hate when, there's an hour-long show and there's like a 4-hour-long review episode. It's like, how can you talk for 4 hours about something that's an hour long? So no, it's a lot of me literally processing what it means to rest into a microphone. And so a lot of things I share, it's like, oh, like, wow, that's really deep. I'm like, no, it's stuff that I've gleaned from other people. And then God is completely like just beating me over the head with it until I actually understand it. So real, what, like, I know rest is difficult and rest is challenging, but the intentionality. So like, if you have a Sabbath on a Sunday or Saturday, say, like, it takes intentionality. Like, mine's on Saturday. It takes intentionality Sunday through Monday to have a rest day on Saturday. Like, I have to be intentional with the rest of the week in order to actually have a rest day. And so it can't just be like, oh, it's Saturday. I'm like, no, like, like, if you like, do your grocery shopping early so you don't have to do that on your rest day. Do your laundry early. So what's the intentionality? So that like, if I can leave something like the practical thing, what's something you can do Monday through Saturday so that Sunday can actually be a day of rest? What's the intentionality it takes on 6 days in order to make that one day a day of rest?
Oh, that's gold. That's gold.
That's in the Bible. That's all. I just repurpose the things that God has said.
Yes. All right, you guys. Thanks so much, Scotty. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Lem. Thank you for what you do. Love your stream. Love your show. Love you. Like I said, you're the hope slinger here on the internets.
Slinging hope. Putting that on my resume. Hope slinger. All right. Bye, Scotty. Geeks, we live in this fast-paced world. I mean, we got fast food, we got fast internet, we've got, the fast lane, instant coffee, all the fast things. Like even if you look at the video games, just where we started for where we are now, the pace is just fast. It's tiring. We're not going to be able to keep. We can barely keep up sometimes. And when we compare what we've been going through and what the time we live in to, let's say, Job's time, there was definitely a slower pace. But it says in Job 37:14, stand still and consider the wondrous works of God. Guys, even back then, there was a time needed for rest. It was recognized there was a time needed for rest. And as we learned today, talking with Scotty, just thinking about it, even in our video games, there is a time that we need for rest. This week, I want you to find that time for rest. I want you to search that out and take that time for rest. Matter of fact, this whole month, I want you to concentrate on how can you rest. Now, if you would like to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me and all the team here at God Games and Geekery right here at badgamer@lifepromotions.org. You guys, not only can you find us here on via email, but you can hit up our socials right there on Twitter, God Games and Geekery, Instagram, God Games and Geekery, Twitch, God Games and Geekery. So God Games Geekery, God Games Geekery, God Games and Geekery. And also on TikTok, God Games Geekery. Come hang out with us. Share your time with us. Rest with us. Guys, you are so very awesome. We love you. You are geeky. You are loved.